ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
يقول ابن الوردي في لاميته: وانظم الشعر ولازم مذهبي في اطراح الرفد فالدنيا أقل، فهو عنوان على الفضل وما أحسن الشعر إذا لم يبتذل. مات أهل الفضل لم يبق سوى مقرف أو من على الأصل اتكل. أنا لا أختار تقبيل يد قطعها أجمل من تلك القبل، إن جزتني عن مديحي سرت في رقيها أو لا فيكفيني الخجل. In these abiyat, Ibn al-Wardi, he mentions, and I'll be very quick inshallah and brief. Ibn al-Wardi here, he says in the beginning, وَانظِمِ الشِّعْرَ وَلَازِمْ مَذْهَبِ. He says, be someone who has association to shi'r. وَانظِمِ الشِّعْرَ. But this does not mean that you give so much importance to shi'r that you forget وتضيع النحو وتضيع الصرف وتضيع قراءة القرآن وتضيع قراءة في الأحاديث النبوية وتضيع القراءة على المشايخ في الفقه وفي مثل هذه العلوم وتهتم فقط في القصائد والشعر. لا، لازم يكون, you have to be fair, you have to give everything its share. And all of the ulama of the past, they had some tie to shi'r. Al-Shafi'i, he says in a very famous line, he said, وَلَوْلَا الشِّعْرُ بِالْعُلَمَاءِ يَزْرِي لَكُنْتُ الْيَوْمَ أَشْعَرَ مِنْ لَبِيدٍ. So basically Shafi'i here is saying that if it wasn't for the fact that this isn't the path of scholars, then he would have been the most, he would have been the best poet of all time. حتى في نهاية هذه القصيدة قال ولولا خشية الرحمن ربي حسبت الناس كلهم عبيد. He said that if it wasn't for my fear of Allah Azza wa Jal, and if I took the path of the poets of the past, then I would have made everyone my slave, my servant, because of how good I am able to come up with poetry. But ulama, they have hudud. شعراء يتبعهم الغاوون ألم ترى أنهم في كل وادي يهيمون وأنهم يقولون ما لا يفعلون. It's known that the poets, they overdo it. So over here he's telling us that be someone who has an alaqa with poetry. لكن ولازم مذهبي في اطراح الرفض فالدنيا أقل. اطراح يعني اترك الترك. الرفض العطاء. في ترك العطاء. Don't sell yourself. Don't sell your soul. Back in the day, historically, poets, they would be paid in order to praise kings, in order to be praising the leaders, right? He said, don't take that path. Don't be a sellout. في اطراح الرفض فالدنيا أقل. Your honor, your self-worth, the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you that gift of poetry and you being able to do that, don't sell it. Nowadays we see the music industry, they're all sellouts. They have some talent. Those big corporations, they take that talent and then they juice it and then they make it about, instead of the actual things that they want to talk about, just about drugs and girls and all of the other things. So it's not only applying to them, but also to us. If we see the prevalent music today, all of it is trash, really. And the message is trash. When we look to old school hip-hop and old school, although we should not be listening to music, you'll find that the messages are more, the underground stuff have deeper messages where they talk about societal problems. المهم فهو عنوان على الفضل وما أحسن الشعر إذا لم يبتذل. He said, the person who does not sell his soul and sell his deen for the sake of some money, that is an unwan of Ahlul Fadl. وَمَا أَحْسَنَ الشِّعْرِ إِذَا لَمْ يُبْتَذَلْ. That is the type of poetry that needs to be said. And then he says, speaking about the time of the people of his time, he said, مَاتَ أَهْلُ الْفَضْلِ وَلَمْ يَبْقَ سِوَى مُقْرِفٍ حَالُهُ دَنِيءٍ أَوْ مَنْ عَلَى الْأَصْلِ اتَّكَلْ. He says, oh, my father was this, my jad was this, my this was this. And then Ibn al-Wardi, he says in this, he says, لَا تَقُلْ أَصْلِي وَفَصْلِي أَبَدًا إِنَّمَا أَصْلُ الْفَتَى مَا قَدْ حَصَلْ. And there's another, إِنِ افْتَخَرْتَ بِآبَاءٍ وَلَهُمْ إِنِ افْتَخَرْتَ بِآبَاءٍ لَهُمْ نَسَبُ قُلْنَا صَدَقْتَ لَكِنْ بِئْسَ مَا وَلَدُوا. So you should not be saying my father this, my grandfather say this. إِنَّمَا الْفَتَى مَنْ قَالَهَا أَنَا ذَا. Right? There's also a bait. Right? So that's not how we should think about it. Where we, talk about, my father was this, my grandfather was this. You are judged based off of your own action, right? So he said all of the people of fadl, of virtue, have passed away. وَلَمْ يَبْقَ سِوَى الْمُقْرِفِ أو من على الأصل اتكل. But he's talking about الأغلب. وإلا ابن الوردي من أهل الفضل. أليس كذلك؟ ابن الوردي من أهل الفضل. He's talking about الأغلب. And even now there is people where there are أهل الفضل. ما زال أهل الفضل موجودين. He says, and then what he says, أنا لا أختار تقبيل يد قطعها أجمل من تلك القبل. Over here he's saying that I do not choose to kiss the hands of people just for the sake of some money. You know, where I kiss up to a king, I kiss up to a leader, where we find some of the people in, very high positions, overseas especially, where they kiss up to the rulers for some money. You know, it's better for them to just keep quiet and take a different job, for them to work in a cafeteria than to sell out their deen and aid an oppressor, really. He says, I do not choose my madhab, and I want you to stick to my madhab. أنا لا أختار تقبيل يد قطعوها أن تقطع يدي أجمل من تلك القبل لهذا الظالم أو لهذا الرئيس من دون ما يستحق هذا المدح. Right? So that's the mindset, and that's what we should have as well. You know, I'll end it with this because I feel like everyone is a little bit tired today. There was once a sha'ir, and he was in front of the wazir. بدأ يمدحه ويقول أنت كالبدر أنت كالشمس أنت كذا وأنت كذا وأنت كذا. He started praising this leader, this ruler, and the governor or whatever, and he became so happy. He says, سأعطيك 10,000 على هذا. He said, I'll give you 10 grand, I'll give you 10,000 or whatever the currency was. And he got so happy. You know, he started getting so happy. بدأ يفرح. يقول أنت تفرح أنا أعطيك 50,000. وفرح حتى يكاد أن يغمى عليه. يكاد يغمى عليه من شدة الفرح. 50,000 مش 50,000. Then he says 100,000. Right? And then when he went to بيت المال حتى يحصل على ما قاله الوزير قال ما أعطاه. And then he went back to the wazir. He said يعني منعت بهذا العطاء الذي ذكرت لي. He said أنت كما أتيت وأفرحتني بهذا الكلام. I came and I gave you kalam that made you happy. You told me some words, I got happy. I told you some words, you got happy. So we're fair. You can share. Right? So al-muhim, في النهاية, we should have some alaqa to poetry, but we should not, go too far into just going, all you think about is qasaid, qasaid, qasaid. Also, you should study some ilm, study some nahwu, study some sarf, and have deeper understanding of Islam. Islam is just not qasaid, it's أن تربط بينهما. وصلى اللهم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.